Can I tell y'all something about the morning that I realized my whole life was not falling apart? It just felt like it was. I barely opened my eyes before the list started. There was a bill that I needed to look at, a conversation I had been putting off, something one of my children needed, a project I had promised myself I would finish. And this heaviness had been carrying on me, weighing on me for a few days without me really naming it. Nothing was on fire. Nobody needed anything immediate. There was no immediate danger. There was no single crisis I could point to and say, that is the problem. It was just everything all at once. I picked up my phone, I opened an app, I closed it. I checked my email, I remember something else. I opened my calendar. Oh my goodness. Then I sat there just staring at the screen, not moving, because I could not figure out which version of me needed to show up first. The mom? The woman worried about money? The woman trying to reach a goal? Or the woman who was simply tired and did not want to make one more decision? Have you ever had a morning like that, just like everything, where nothing is technically falling apart, but somehow you feel like you are? Where everything on your mind has a legitimate reason to be there as part of your life. So, what exactly are you supposed to ignore? Like, that's the question. Are you supposed to ignore your child? Are you supposed to ignore your money? Like the conversation you know that needs to happen? Is that what you're supposed to ignore? The thing that you said that you wanted for yourself? I don't know. I don't know. But come sit with me, y'all. Welcome back to Healing, Hustle, and Home. I'm Ashley Springs, educator, mentor, full time founder, sports mom, and a woman who has spent a lot of years, y'all, trying to lead well in more than one room. Yes, absolutely. So that morning, I finally put the phone down. I finally put it down. I went into the kitchen. I made my coffee. I sat at the table with a notebook and I just stared out the window and I just started writing. Pay this, call them, check on him, finish that, do this, make a decision about that, figure out why I had been feeling so off. That's another thing I wrote down. At first, it was just one very long list. And the longer it got, the worse it felt. Have you ever made a list that was supposed to help you feel organized, but somehow it made you feel like your entire life needed a whole intervention? That's me. I call myself making these lists to help me. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have way too much to do. So I looked at the page and I thought to myself, no wonder I cannot get myself together because there's just too much. How in the world am I supposed to do all this? But I kept looking at it. And after a while, I noticed something I had missed when all of it was just swirling around in my head. Those things were not all asking me for the same thing. The bill was one kind of a problem. The conversation was another problem. The project I kept thinking about was connected to something that I wanted for my future. My calendar was packed, but that was not the whole reason I felt so heavy. And underneath all of it was something emotional I had barely given myself permission to name. They had been sitting on the same page, all of it, shouting at me, all of it at the same volume, too. So in my head, they had become one giant problem. My life. This is what I had been trying to fix my whole entire life, y'all. And y'all, that is a pretty big assignment before breakfast. Remember, I told you I had just sat down, made my coffee, and just try to get my life together. It's not even breakfast time. So I started thinking about how many times I had done that before. Life feels messy, go get you a better planner. Money feels uncomfortable, make a stricter budget. Or rewrite your bills 10 times until you can figure out what works. Something feels off, start a new routine, girl. Feeling behind? Set another goal, girl. Monday's coming. Okay, apparently we need a whole new woman. A new schedule, a new budget, new boundaries, new habits, new attitude, like a whole new life. And then Tuesday gets here. And Tuesday has that child that needs something. Because, they need something every day of the week. But this Tuesday, they really needed something. Oh, and that unexpected bill came through. And a meeting that runs over, and somebody texts you something that you were not even prepared to deal with. And somehow, now the whole new woman that we created on Sunday night is already behind. Because Sundays are my days, y'all. It's like when I'm going to plan my week and I'm going to do this thing. And then all of those things come in and boom, just blow it all up. I had done that cycle enough times to know how it ended. So I stopped trying to solve the list just for a minute, y'all, just for a minute. And I started looking at what was underneath of it all. Okay, the money things, they belong together. The things that were draining my time and energy, they belong together. The conversations and the places where I needed to be more honest about my boundaries, they belong together. That heaviness I could not schedule my way out of, that belonged somewhere else. And then there was still the things that I wanted, y'all. This is the thing that we do wrong, right? The things that we wanted, they're still there too. I'm talking about my goals, my growth, like the parts of me that did not disappear just because other people needed me. So it's like 5 different areas, 5 lanes, 1 life. And that is where the right lane method really came from, right there in that moment. It wasn't because I woke up one morning and decided the world needs another framework. Nope. I needed language. I needed to be able to put into words what was happening in my own life. Because I needed to understand that everything could matter without everything needing me at the same time. And that distinction between all of those things, it changed something for me and in me, y'all. Because from that point, I started thinking about my life in 5 different lanes. There's my emotional and mental wellness lane. That's what I'm carrying on the inside every single day, no matter what else is going on. There's the time and energy lane. I'm not talking about just what's on my calendar or what my calendar says I can do, but what I really have the capacity, the energy, the mindset to even carry today, this week, this month. There are my finances. I'm talking about the numbers, the decisions, the stability, and sometimes all the feelings that are even attached to those numbers, because girl, don't even get me started on that. And then there's the relationships and the boundaries. Oh, people do not understand this, right? I'm talking about the people I love, the people I show up for, and y'all, the places where honesty sometimes gets uncomfortable. Y'all don't hear me. And then there's purpose and growth. The part of me that is still becoming something, still becoming her, still dreaming, still wanting, still growing, even while being responsible for everything and everybody else. We cannot forget us, our purpose, and our growth by getting lost in everything else. And what I noticed sitting at the table was that all 5 of those lanes mattered. Every one of them, they matter. There was something important sitting in every one of them. But all 5 did not need me that morning. So why in the world was I making my to-do list so long with every single thing on it? Everything doesn't need my attention right now and in the same way. That was the part that I had been missing. I have been asking all these years, how do I fix all of this? How do I do all of this? When the better question was, y'all, which lane needs me first? Which lane needs me right now? Which lane needs me today? It was not the money. Even though the bills were very real, conversation that I needed to have. Probably conversations. It was me. It was me. More specifically, it was what I had been carrying mentally and emotionally. I had been so full in my own head that every other problem looked bigger than it really was, y'all. And once I saw that, I stopped trying to solve everything before I allowed myself to acknowledge it. I did not need to punish myself into being more productive. I did not need to have a prettier schedule, although I love taking some time and just writing in different colors and decorating the days in my planner. I needed to tell myself the truth. I was tired. I had too many unfinished thoughts circling at the same time. Too many, way too many. I needed to put some of them down. I needed to get all of them out of my head. And so that is exactly what I did. That's why I sat there with my notebook and wrote those to-do lists. So this is what I did. I chose one financial thing that I could handle that day. Just one. Y'all hear me now. I wrote down the one conversation that I needed to have, but I stopped acting like it had to be before breakfast. Like I had to get that thing done before breakfast. No, I don't. I just need to have the conversation first. I moved the project. Yep. I gave myself permission to say, you do not have to finish this right now. You don't even have to work on it today. And I gave myself room and permission to admit that I did not have the capacity to treat everything like an emergency, and that I wasn't going to allow other people to have their things treated like an emergency either. Nope. Nothing dramatic happened though. My life didn't transform before lunch. The bills were still there. The conversation still needed to happen. The project still needed to get done. But the noise and the stories that I told myself, they started coming down, y'all. Because once I knew which lane needed me first, I could stop standing in the middle of all five, just swerving in all those lanes all throughout the day, every day, and trying to direct traffic. Maybe that is the part that feels familiar to you. Maybe you've been looking at your whole life like one giant problem too. Like something is off, so you keep reaching for solutions. And you spend a lot of time like just problem solving, trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this work? Maybe you keep reorganizing your schedule. When deep down, another color-coded calendar, it ain't it. It is not going to fix how tired you truly are. Maybe you keep avoiding your bank account because seeing the numbers feels so much heavier than just wondering about it. Maybe there's a conversation that you keep rehearsing, replaying, in your head, because telling somebody what you really need to tell them could truly change something. Maybe everybody around you is getting what they need. And there is still this quiet little part of you asking, when do we get back to me? See, those are different problems. They deserve different responses. And you don't have to resolve all of them today. You may not have the answer to all of them today. That's fine. So instead of asking yourself, like, how am I going to get my whole life together, I want you to try this for me. Try asking yourself which lane needs me first. Which lane do I need to be in today? Which lane do I need to be in right now? Not which lane could improve. Don't do that. We could probably find something in all 5 lanes. I promise you we can. So not which one would look most productive to work on. Nope. Not which one somebody else thinks that you should be focused on. Nope. Which one shows up when things get quiet? Like when you had that moment to yourself, by yourself, and it keeps coming up. Which one shows up when things get quiet? Which one is making everything else feel harder because you have been trying not to look at it? I want you to start right there. Start right there. I mean, it truly could mean, just start by making a list. That's fine. That's getting it out of your head. But that might mean looking at your numbers. That might mean saying no, capital N-O, to the people you love too, to your workplace, to anything and anybody that's not serving you, that's not filling you up right now. It might mean go ahead and call or schedule that appointment that you've been supposed to be scheduling a long time ago. It might mean finally having the conversation. It might mean making room for something you want. Yes, you have permission to want things, and go for it too. Or it might mean that admitting that you don't need another strategy. You need to rest. One lane, y'all. One honest response. That is enough. Because sometimes the reason that we feel lost is not that we do not know how to move forward. Not at all. It's that we're trying to move in 5 directions at once. And every time I'm on the highway, like, just visualize this with me. Like, okay, so I live in Charlotte, and every time I am on like 85 or 485, it is guaranteed that even though I am in like the far right lane, there's guaranteed to be a car or two that comes zooming past us, and they are in and out lanes. They're in my lane, then they're in the next lane, then they're all the way over to the far left lane, then they're back over. And they do this the entire way where, within my view, where I can see them. Moving too fast, going through, can't really see what's going on around you. You just know, I'm just trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Moving in 5 directions across 5 lanes all at one time. Y'all, you have one life, 5 lanes, one highway, 4 or 5 lanes, okay? Yes, you are allowed to take them one at a time. You have one life, 5 lanes, and you are allowed to take them one at a time. And think about it. If you are sitting there thinking, okay, Ashley, okay, girl, but I really don't know which lane is asking me to give it the attention right now. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take the right lane check-in. It's free. The right lane check-in is just a free starter resource, and it'll be in the show notes. It will help you identify, y'all, which lane may need your attention first. I promise you. And it'll only take you a couple minutes. Very quick, very easy. But it's going to get your attention, and it'll help you narrow down, where do I even start? So you don't have to think about it. I want you to keep becoming the woman. I want you to keep building the work and keep stewarding every room that you have been entrusted with. Because healing is how you become the woman, y'all. Hustle is how you build the work. And home is how you steward every single room that you have been entrusted with. One woman, 2 rooms, one life. I'll see you here next week.